Koo, can you tell us the camera that you purchased? What was it again?
It was a red Scarlet.
Okay. And what were the major factors in you purchasing that camera, and why didn't you rent it versus just outright buying it?
I think it's a really tough question for people to... I think, when you make those decisions, you don't necessarily know at the time whether it's the right or the wrong decision. You just sort of have to go off of a sense and a projection of what you're going to be working on. The reason that I liked the red was I felt it did a lot of things in the camera that other cameras you needed to attach a lot of doodads to. Whether if you wanted to get 4K on another camera, you have to attach an external recorder normally. If you want to record to compressed RAW, that's not even an option for most of these other cameras, even though Red has been doing it now for 5 years. So I felt like it was something that once they were getting supported by editing systems, so that you can just drag in the R3D files to the timeline and cut natively, it was something that gave you a lot of flexibility for high-end projects, something that you could go shoot a feature on, but also something that you could use, as a compact package to go film an interview. So the versatility of the tool was what made me think I'm comfortable investing in this, because it goes in different directions. Whereas I think some of the other cameras are more specialized and their limitations hold you back from certain productions. But, the camera market is changing. I don't know that I'll be shooting on a Red forever. You don't know what's coming out around the corner. But thankfully most of these professional tools hold their value decently. So when you're selling, or Red has an upgrade program, so just the idea that it's going to last you for a number of years is the calculation for me, is thinking about how much use can I get out of this and for how long.
And was that also what factored into you purchasing it rather than renting it? It's kind of like leasing a car versus buying it. Did you know that there'll be additional things I'll want to shoot with it? This is not the last time I'm going to use this, or...
I think as indie filmmakers, we have this romantic idea that if you own the equipment, you're not going to be held back from having an idea and going and shooting something for no money with your friends and getting it in the can, because you already spent the money on the camera, so it's not costing you anything to go make this movie, right? And there's nothing wrong with that ideal, and I certainly share that myself, and I think that's kind of like the calculation behind buying something. Because typically, if you're only going to rent, for me, I'm not doing freelance work. I'm working on my own projects. And so it takes me a lot of time to write and go through pre-production and do that. I'm not going to be using the camera that many days out of the year. But I do like the idea that, we can go make this thing with the equipment we have, as opposed to like setting up a budget and getting production insurance and getting rentals and having to build that whole thing every time you go shoot something.